ADHD feels like a curse, right? The distractions, the overwhelm, the struggle to focus. But what if I told you there's a way to flip the script? A way to turn ADHD into your greatest asset? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into ADHD. Yes, it can feel like chaos, but with the right mindset and strategies, it can become your superpower. Stick with me to the end of this video, and I'll show you how to take control and thrive. Segment 1, The Curse of ADHD. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, but that name can be misleading. It's not really about a lack of attention, it's about a difficulty regulating attention. Imagine your brain is a TV remote that randomly flips channels, even when you're trying to stay on one show. That's what living with ADHD can feel like. Sometimes, it feels like you're running a marathon while juggling 10 different things: emails, chores, deadlines, and that one TikTok sound stuck in your head. You know you should focus, but your brain says, nah, let's plan a trip to the moon instead. It's frustrating, overwhelming, and sometimes downright exhausting. You know you're capable of so much, but it feels like your own brain is working against you. And that's why ADHD can feel like a curse. But here's the good news: when you understand what's really going on, you can start to work with your brain, not against it. Segment 2, Understanding your ADHD. ADHD isn't about being lazy or incapable, it's about how your brain processes information. At its core, ADHD is a condition that affects the brain's executive function. That's the part of your brain responsible for things like planning, prioritizing, and managing time. Think of your brain as the conductor of an orchestra. With ADHD, the conductor sometimes forgets the sheet music or skips a cue, and suddenly the orchestra is playing 3 songs at once, or nothing at all. This leads to what we call dysregulated attention. It's not that you can't focus, it's that you can't always control what you focus on. You might struggle to stay on task at work but get completely lost in a hobby for hours. That's why hyperfocus, the intense fixation on something you're interested in, is such a common ADHD experience. But here's the thing: ADHD doesn't mean you're broken. It just means your brain works differently. And once you understand those differences, you can start building strategies that actually work for you. Segment 3, The Reframe. Here's a game changer: ADHD isn't just a list of problems. It's a different way of thinking. And once you reframe how you see it, it stops feeling like a curse and starts looking more like an untapped superpower. Let me break it down. ADHD brains are wired for creativity, spontaneity, and curiosity. Sure, they struggle with traditional systems like rigid schedules or boring, repetitive tasks, but they excel at thinking outside the box, solving complex problems, and diving deep into passions. The key to this reframe is shifting from "what's wrong with me" to "how can I work with the way my brain is wired?" For example, instead of feeling guilty for procrastinating, recognize that you might need pressure or urgency to activate your focus. That's a strategy, not a failure. ADHD isn't about fixing yourself, it's about discovering the unique ways you thrive. When you stop trying to force yourself into a mold that doesn't fit and start embracing your natural strengths, everything changes. Segment 4, Practical Tips. Now that you understand ADHD is a different way of thinking, let's talk about practical tips to help you manage it and even thrive. These aren't quick fixes, just tools that can work with your brain's natural rhythms to make life a little smoother. First up, let's talk about structure. ADHD brains may resist structure, but they thrive on it when it's flexible and intentional. I'm going to give you 4 tips that can turn the chaos into control. ADHD makes self-regulation tough, but external tools can do the heavy lifting for you. Use timers for short, focused work sessions, like the Pomodoro technique: 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of break. You can also create visual reminders, sticky notes, apps, or even a whiteboard. The goal is to externalize your to-do list, so it's always right in front of you. When you feel that magic moment of hyperfocus, grab it and run with it. Plan your most creative or demanding tasks for times when you know you'll be in that zone. Sometimes, ADHD brains are like light switches. They may flicker, but when they turn on, they burn bright. Use that time to your advantage. Physical activity isn't just about staying fit, it's a critical part of managing ADHD. Exercise helps regulate your brain's dopamine levels, which can improve focus and mood. So, whether it's a quick jog, a few minutes of stretching, or even just dancing around the house, make movement part of your day. Lastly, be kind to yourself. ADHD can feel like a never-ending cycle of unfinished tasks, but the truth is, there will be days when you just don't have it all together. That's okay. Progress is a journey, not a race. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and know that you're moving forward even on tough days. These tips aren't about forcing yourself to fit into a box. They're about creating a structure that supports your natural brain function, so you can get more done without burning out. Segment 5, Your Superpower Awaits. Here's the best part, ADHD isn't just about managing challenges, it's about unlocking your potential. Yes, it can feel overwhelming at times, but when you learn to work with your brain, you can tap into incredible strengths. Think about it. ADHD brains are wired for creativity, innovation, and passion. You can hyper-focus on the things you love, see connections others might miss, and bring fresh ideas to the table. Sure, you may struggle with the details sometimes, but big-picture thinking? That's where you shine. Many of the world's greatest thinkers, creators, and innovators had ADHD. It's the part of you that allows you to dream big and solve problems in ways others can't. So, while ADHD can feel like a curse in some moments, it's also a powerful gift, one that's waiting for you to embrace it. Remember, you don't have to fit into the world's mold of productivity or success. You can create your own path, one that celebrates your unique strengths. ADHD doesn't define you, it amplifies your potential. Your superpower is waiting. Are you ready to use it? If this video helped you see ADHD in a new light, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on thriving with a differently wired brain. And hey, share your ADHD hacks in the comments. I'd love to hear how you've turned your curse into a superpower.